Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Are you a busy manager struggling with multiple projects and team task assignments? Are you a senior project manager who would like to have a junior analyst to deal with the mundane day-to-day tasks? In today's video, I will demonstrate how one can build a project management AI assistant to alleviate these pain points. We will run through the product features and its technical design. Note this exploration is purely for academic experiments and personal interest. The development leverages Google Gemini and N8N, and the product demo is deployed with Versal and Render. As a busy project manager, you are highly likely to face these pain points in your daily routines. 1. The setup of the initial Jira project structure based on a project blueprint. Given Jira does not have readily available direct bulk setup support, most of the time such initial setup is done manually. 2. As the project progresses under agile project management paradigm, you may constantly have to intake new assignments. Keep the backlog for further prioritization. 3. You may have a regular assignment priority review with your business sponsor, and then have to update the Jira ticket manually. 4. The original product documentation and Jira assignments are very likely to drift apart over time under Agile project management method. To ensure the ongoing alignment and maintenance of a central project document can be a headache. 5. You may want to have advanced progress tracking or resource allocation visualization that is not easily supported by Jira's built-in reporting templates. And last, coordinating large stakeholders' meetings can always be challenging. If these pain points rhyme with you, then this AI-powered project management assistant solution may be a good fit. It is designed to automate routine tasks such as backlog management and priority review, handle the manual Jira project setup and task update, and assist meeting scheduling. The AI agent has text and voice chat command support embedded in the client UI, and it also performs ongoing email monitoring and response related to task assignments. The client UI supports friendly progress tracking and resource allocation visualization. And the AI assistant also supports ongoing project blueprint and Jira task synchronization to ensure master project document and Jira details do not drift apart over time. Now let me quickly run through the main produce features. The client UI supports a chat agent to take in text or voice commands. Depending on the user command's intention, it routes to different backend AI agents to perform tasks. The client UI also supports project blueprint upload and handles automatic Jira project setup to kick off. In the background, the AI assistant monitors incoming task assignments and auto-saves them into a backlog in Google Drive. As the AI assistant receives new task assignments, it tries to map the task to the relevant project's epic and story tickets. The human can then focus on reviewing the mapped assignments through the client UI rather than being tied up with the initial mapping exercise. If the human manager is too busy to review the backlog assignments during the day, the AI assistant can also send out scheduled notifications to remind the human manager of outstanding task backlogs. The human manager can simply respond to the notification email with instructions, and the AI assistant will automatically process and create or modify the Jira tickets accordingly. The project blueprint documentation and Jira tickets are synchronized through a convenient client UI feature backed by AI assistant behind the scene. AI will detect deviation between the original project blueprint and latest Jira tickets, while client UI will support a track change display feature for the user to understand the difference. The human manager can then decide to discard or accept the change, and the accepted blueprint changes will be persisted into database. Lastly, the AI assistant client UI supports friendly and intuitive progress tracking and resource spend visualization. This allows project managers to easily understand project progress and resource bottlenecks. Now let's demo how the AI assistant works in practice. I will upload an example project blueprint and voice command the assistant to set up Jira project for it.
Create a Jira project for the uploaded blueprint.
After a little waiting, the chatbot responds that the project is set up, and on the right side of the screen you can see the hierarchy of the Jira project and tickets the AI assistant created. Now flipping to the Jira website, you can see all the Jira tickets available for further modifications. Back into the AI assistant, you can also see the client UI is auto-refreshed to show the new project in the projects tree, and clicking the blueprint link, you can see the project blueprint and Jira tickets nicely merged in the display. Next, I will demo how backlog management works. I've created a few task assignment emails sent to various team members. The AI assistant monitors email traffic and auto-assigns these tasks to relevant project epics and stories and keeps them in a backlog. Here's the backlog in Google Sheet that the AI assistant populated based on the incoming email assignments. Going back to the client UI, now let me ask the AI assistant to refresh the backlog through the chatbot. And here you go, the chatbot pulled the outstanding backlog successfully. Note the AI assistant is smart enough to differentiate task assignments that it can fully map versus the ones where it can partially map. The bifurcated UI display of assignments into missing info versus ready for review eases the user review burden. The backlog table supports convenient inline editing for user to make changes. After the human manager is happy with the backlog assignments, the AI assistant will automatically create the Jira tickets and clear the backlog. Here you can see the Google Sheet backlog is cleared. Here I will also demonstrate how the backlog review can be handled through scheduled notification. If the human manager is too busy to review the backlog during normal working hours, the AI assistant sends an email reminder summarizing the outstanding backlog to the human manager to review. The human manager can directly request changes or agree to proceed through email reply. AI assistant will process the human response accordingly and notify human of the changes it made. Now let's go through some of the other features the AI chatbot supports in the client UI. I can ask for changes in the existing Jira project, such as adding new epics, stories, or tasks. Here you see the AI assistant successfully set up some new tickets in Jira based on the ask, and the Jira website reflects such changes. I can also ask the AI chatbot to set up meetings with team members, and it searches for the earliest convenient slot and schedules the invite. On the Google Calendar, you can see the event successfully set up with a project progress status report attached. Lastly, let's take a look at how the project progress tracking and resource spend dashboards look like. In progress tracking, the client UI supports a structured tabular display of EPIs, stories, and tasks and relevant RAG status. The project manager can also see the traditional Gantt chart or timeline chart to understand progress and dependency. In the resource allocation dashboard, the project manager has the option to view capacity allocation in either tabular or bar chart form. The Jira ticket assignments get converted into man-hours, so it's easy to visualize which resource may be overallocated or underutilized. The resource allocation also supports a heat map view, so if a particular resource is overallocated, the heat map can easily detect it. The final Gantt view is intended to show where resource allocation overlap may occur. If the time slots in the dashboard overlaps for a particular assignee, this indicates potential misallocation of the assignments. Now let's also check out how the AI assistant handles original project blueprint versus latest Jira ticket change divergence. After clicking the Sync with Jira button, the AI assistant compares the project blueprint stored in database versus the latest Jira tickets. After a little waiting, it shows up with all the identified changes in a convenient track change display. The user can then decide whether to discard or accept the changes. If the user accepts the changes, the updated project blueprint will be persisted in the database, and the client display will also be refreshed accordingly. After seeing how the AI assistant works in practice, let me go through the technical stack that supports the development of this product demo. The client user frontend is built with React Invite and deployed in Versal, which offers free web app hosting plans. The middle web server tier is developed using Python and Fast API, and I deployed it on Render, which also offers free web service hosting option. For the backend, most of the AI agent capabilities and workflows are developed using N8N, which supports connectivity to Jira, Google Drive, and SQLite database. We can now check out some of the major N8N components that act as the brain behind this AI assistant. The first component is the workflow that supports the auto-creation of Jira project from a user-uploaded project blueprint. Within this workflow, we first generate a project key from the uploaded project description. If the project key does not exist in Jira, the new project key will be created in Jira project space. An AI agent then reads through the project blueprint to dynamically generate a set of Jira tickets and call the Create Jira Ticket tool to save them into Jira. The second component is the Monitoring Backlog Assignment AI agent. It monitors a dedicated email for either new task assignment or human manager's backlog review feedback. If the email is about new task assignment, it looks up Google Backlog Sheet for the latest backlog ID. It then intends to parse the task assignment and match it to an existing project's epic and story. If AI is able to assign the new task to its matching project, epic, and story, the new task will be labeled as AI reviewed. Otherwise, if any of these keys are not identifiable through the matching logic, the new task will be labeled as missing info, which prompts the user to pay further attention in the client UI display. The new task assignment will then be saved in the Google Sheet backlog. Separately, if the email is about human manager's response on outstanding backlog review, a LLM chain node will digest the human manager's email, understand what type of changes are needed for the backlog task assignments. Based on the manager's request, it will update the backlog assignments and create Jira tickets accordingly. If any information is missing that the AI agent cannot identify from the user's email, it will also keep it in a missing info task list. The valid Jira tickets will be added to the corresponding Jira project. And finally, both the created Jira tickets and the missing info tasks will be summarized into an email and sent back to the human manager for record. The third component is the meeting scheduling workflow. Here I used AI to only identify attendee list, project context, scheduling timing requirement, and whether a project status report is needed for the meeting invite attachment. The available schedule finding among participants is done through code node. The benefit of using a code node is the result is always accurate and 100% repeatable, especially if the scheduling requirement is relatively simple. Of course, using AI is also a good alternative, especially if the scheduling requirement may require more dynamic handling due to its context. If the user command requires a project status report to be attached, the workflow pulls the relevant project status from Jira and converts it into a nicely formatted PDF. The file is then uploaded into a Google Drive and file link attached to the meeting invite. The fourth component allows the user to add new epic, story, and tasks to an existing Jira project. The AI agent will find out the applicable project context and then create relevant Jira tickets based on what user supplied through the client chatbot. If the AI agent cannot figure out the applicable project context, it will generate an error message. Depending on whether valid Jira tickets are created by the AI agent, the workflow then calls the Add Jira Ticket tool to save these new tickets. And either ticket creation success or AI digestion failure message will be returned to the client chatbot. The last component is the project blueprint and Jira task synchronization workflow. Once the user clicks the Sync with Jira button from the client UI, this component pulls the relevant project blueprint from database and gets the latest Jira project hierarchy. A LLM chain node is then used to compare the difference between the two and suggest for edits. The AI node is instructed to generate both a clean and updated version of the project blueprint and a track change version of it. This allows the client UI to be able to visualize the tracked changes for easier user review and acceptance. Now you've seen what AI and automation can do in project management. Where can we go from here? This demo is still relatively simple given the real-world project manager is likely to face a lot more nuances and additional pain points that this video does not cover. For example, nudging team members to provide regular status updates and reflect them in Jira on time is also a challenge in practice, given the human psychological resistance toward being chased to provide status updates. Also, many of the project management practices I have seen are reactive, meaning that project managers get status updates to understand after the fact whether projects are on track. Is there a way to do more proactive project management to preemptively detect potential progress delay or bottleneck with the help of AI? I am not a professional project manager, so I am just throwing out these ideas for you to consider. And if anyone likes the AI assistant idea demonstrated in this video and would like to partner to further enhance it, feel free to reach out for collaboration. Leave feedback in the comments section on how you would suggest further enhancement to this demo or any other idea you would like to see a demo for. See you in the next video.
See you next time. Bye.